Welcome to this introduction on double integrals. Today, we are going to expand your calculus knowledge from single dimensions into two dimensions. If you have ever wondered how to find the volume under a curved surface, this is the tool you need. Let us quickly recall what you learned in single variable calculus. When you calculate the integral of a function f of x, you are finding the area between the curve and the x-axis. Mathematically, you are summing up infinitely many thin rectangles of width dx and height f of x. Now, let's level up. A double integral does for volume what a single integral does for area. Instead of a flat area under a curve, we are looking for the total volume under a three-dimensional surface, denoted by z equals f of x, and why we perform this calculation over a specific region R on the flat xy plane. Here is what the math looks like. You will see two integral signs representing two dimensions. The function f of x and y represents the height of the surface at any point. And then there is this term dA. This stands for the differential area, a tiny piece of the base region. Let's zoom in on that dA term. Imagine dividing the floor, or the region R, into a grid. Each little square in that grid has a width dx and a height dy, so the area of that tiny piece is just dx times dy. This is crucial because it turns our abstract dA into variables we can actually work with. The easiest place to start is when our region is a simple rectangle. Here, x goes from a constant a to b, and y goes from c to d. We set this up as an iterated integral. We integrate the inside part first, treating one variable as a constant, and then we integrate the result with the outside variable. A powerful rule called Fubini's theorem tells us that for continuous functions over rectangular regions, the order of integration does not matter. You can integrate with respect to x first or y first. You will get the same answer. Often, switching the order can make a difficult problem much simpler. Of course, not every shape is a rectangle. For general regions, the limits become functions. In a type 1 region, we slice vertically, so y goes from a bottom curve to a top curve. In a type 2 region, we slice horizontally, so x goes from a left curve to a right curve. Setting up these limits correctly is the most important step. Why do we learn this? Beyond just finding volumes, double integrals are used in physics to find the mass of plates with varying density, to calculate centers of mass to ensure structural stability, and even in probability theory for statistics. It is a fundamental tool for modeling the real world. To wrap up, remember that double integrals accumulate values over a 2D area. We replace dA with dx dy or dy dx, set up our limits based on the shape of the region, and then integrate step by step. With practice, visualizing these regions becomes second nature.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.